Helen, I'm coming over to your place right now. What? Why are you questioning that? Tomorrow is going to be the 4th of July, right? So, we are coming over today and we will be staying at your place for the next couple of nights. This means that both your daughter-in-law and your son are on their way to your house right now, and you need to be ready for us. London? We should be arriving there just before dinner time, so make sure to have something fancy made for the both of us to eat. I can try my best to get something ready for you guys. We are already out of the house now and on our way, so you can't tell us no to that now. What? Lucas, you should be finishing up with your work for today now, right? Do you mind swinging by the supermarket on your way home from there to pick some more things for me?
Hi, honey. I think I can do that. What all do you want me to pick up for you?
Can you get me another dozen eggs and also a large cabbage? Also, you'll be passing by that cake shop that I really like. Could you stop in there and find a small cake that can feed 4 for dessert?
A cake? And for 4 people to eat? Who else is going to be at the house tonight?
Axel and London are coming. I got a couple of texts from London a little bit ago, saying that they were both coming back to our house.
This again? What I never get about these kinds of situations is it's always London who ends up texting us about what she wants to do, and never Axel himself.
Well, perhaps Axel likes her to be in charge of all those things, and if that's the case, then I have nothing else to say. Anyway, this plan came out of nowhere from London, so we'll have to have dinner for 4 now. I'm currently working on that now, so I'd like you to stop and grab those things for me, so that we'll have enough for everyone tonight.
Sounds good. I'll try to make it quick.
Sorry for bringing this up to you so late, but thank you for understanding and doing that for me. Helen, it shouldn't be too much longer before we pull into your driveway. Is the driveway a good place for us to park the car? What? So you both are almost here then? And you guys decided to take the car this time? What about taking the bus like all those times before? We decided we wanted to drive ourselves this time. Do you have a problem with that? I'm sorry, but we only have 1 parking space at our townhouse, so you're going to have to find somewhere else to park your car. There is a parking garage just down the road that you can use, and it should only be around $15 a day. Huh? But that would cost like $60 by the end of this trip. How about you take your car out of that parking spot and park it over at the parking garage so that we can park our car in your spot? Why should we be having to do something like that for you? You both should have the money to park in that car garage, right? Huh? Listen, London. You already started off the wrong note by only telling me that you were heading over to stay here with my husband and I last minute. So I have been having to get things like food ready for you both as well as a room. So please do something about parking yourselves so that I may continue to focus making you guys your dinner for tonight. I have 2 pots on the stove right now boiling, so I cannot go out to move the car anyway. I will talk to you both when you arrive here. What? You jerk! Excuse me, London. What you've done was just a step too far over the line. What do you think you're doing throwing all that food I just made for you guys into the garbage like that? Well, listen here, Helen. Whoever said for you to make dinner yourself like that? Your older son and his wife are coming home to be with you guys, and you chose to make us trash for dinner? You think my cooking is trash? Honestly, you don't seem to think about anyone else beside yourself. At a time like this, you should be bringing us something fancy like sushi. I wanted sushi, and not just the stuff from the local gas station, but the good stuff from a sushi restaurant in town. Or perhaps it's this. Since your husband is still working in a factory as a base-level employee, you guys don't have enough money for good sushi, right? You both have to live the most basic lives at this age, so you can't even imagine what fancy food tastes like. My husband is making enough money every year where we do not have to sleep under a bridge or starve. And we happen to enjoy living a simple life, making food at home, and enjoying things like movies and walks together. So what? You're trying to tell me is that you're both poor, right? But come on now. You have to start doing better than that. Because guess what? Today is the day your very important older son and his super cute wife are staying with you. So get us some damn sushi, you low-life trash. All you have to do is spend the money that you'd normally spend on yourselves each day for food, about 2 to 3 days worth of money, and spend that sushi for us tonight. That should work for your husband and you, right? And actually, I'm already on my way to the sushi restaurant down the other side of the street, and I'll be getting dinner from there. That $200 you had in the drawer is going to be used for dinner, so I made sure to take that with me. What? Hey, wait! That was all we had left for this month's groceries, and I will be using it very carefully on tonight's dinner. London, you get back here right now!
Hey, honey, are you still awake?
What? Oh, hi, Lucas. Yes, I'm still awake. You do realize I'm in the same house as you right now, so you don't have to text me if you want to talk.
Just now, Axel came over to my office to chat with me.
Did something happen to him?
He came to hand me back that $200 that London took from us, and thought that he could hand it to me while she's not awake. Also, he has something he wanted to talk to us about. Originally, the plan was that he'd come back to our house in secret, without having London come along with him. But she ended up finding out about his plan, and so he had to make up a lie saying that the both of them would come to stay here for the 4th. And well, right now, Helen is sleeping in the next room over to my office, and so I don't want her to hear Axel and I talking, or me coming to talk to you.
So that's why we're texting instead. Well, how about I get out of the bed and come to your office?
You can do that, but be really quiet so that you don't wake her up, and please shut the door quietly when you come here. I'll make sure to turn on my noise machine to try and mute out our voices, and then we can talk about what to do with London.
Understood. Hey, Helen! Get that damn bath ready for me. It's not even 10 in the morning yet and you're already yelling? The bath? I always get the bath every morning, and today will be no different. I never knew about that. Jesus! I came back pretty late last night and did get into the shower before I crashed, so you had to know that I'd be needing a bath this morning, right? Have you never had guests over to your house before? You need to be more considerate of me and make sure the bath is ready by the time I'm waking up. Or could it be that you and your husband don't want to have the water and heating bill go up, and so that's why you guys never use the bath? That's exactly what I expected from two poor people. We are not as poor as you seem you want to think, London. But look, your husband is working in a factory. That makes the both of you lowlives. London, the only reason you married my boy is for his money, right? Huh? What's this all about? My son is working for a very large company at the moment, making a lot more than people his age. And to you, he is like the perfect ATM, right? But here's the problem. That wasn't quite the truth, and Axel actually ended up being a contractor to that company. So he isn't really making the amount of money you thought he was. And then you came to learn that his father is also not making as much as you'd like, since he's just working as a factory worker. Hence why you are now calling my husband and I lowlives, and saying we don't have any money to cater to you with either. You are upset right now, and you are a bit bummed out because your plan of marrying my son for his money didn't work out. And so, find that to be good reason to act like a jackass now. That's right! I was freaking lied to! I didn't know that your son was just a contractor there, and that your husband only works at a factory. What the hell is wrong with your family being some of the most moneyless people ever? You had never talked with my husband much until after you married Axel. so I won't blame you for not knowing everything about him. But when it comes to Axel, you and him had been dating for a long time before you got married. So how come you didn't learn the truth about this line of work then? What? Well, it's too late for an answer to that, to affect anything now. So I'll leave it be. From what I'd heard, you have no idea what it means to be a contractor, do you? Huh? How do I have no idea about them? Of course, there are plenty of contractors who aren't making as much as they should be in their line of work. But in the case of my son, he someday plans to have a company of his own. And in order to get experience to put towards that company, he is going around doing work as a contractor for a few different companies. Also, Axel happens to be very skilled in the work he performs. So he's already making more than average contractor does, with plenty of bonuses as well. Are you serious? And as for my husband that you always call a lowlife, he's in charge of a factory he works at. Uh-huh. After graduating from trade school as an operator, he went and worked for the factory he's now at for 3 years. After those 3 years, he was asked to do more training for larger operations and then worked as a manager of a shift there for a bit. And once some time had passed and the previous leader of that factory left, he was promoted and took over. And he's been doing that for 3 years now. What? No way. Do you have something you'd like to say about this? Hi, Lucas. Are you out of the house today?
Hello, London. What do you want with me right now?
I just wanted to apologize to you for not really ever talking to you at all before and after marrying your son. So, do you have time today to meet with me and chat? Well, if you have the time around noon, let's go out to eat and we can take your time talking to one another.
Around noon, I don't have any plans out of the house and was thinking of having lunch at home with the family.
What?
Today is the 4th of July, and because of that, I was able to get the day off work. And that means I'm going to be home all day today.
Ah.
That also means my son and wife are with me. Do you understand?
You're kidding, right?
No matter what you try and do to get me to go out with you, this is the last day you'll ever be hearing from me. And I think the same goes for the rest of my family.
The last day? Wait, does this mean what I think it means? You're going to be divorcing your wife?
Huh?
Oh no. That means things from now on are going to get a little more difficult for you, right? Well, if you still need me around, I'll be willing to live with you wherever you go.
Shut the hell up. And get the hell out of my house, now!
What? What the hell is going on? Your husband is a total asshole. He came out of his office and started to grab all my things and then tossed them out into the yard, yelling at me to get out of his house. Why the hell am I getting kicked out when it should be you getting kicked out of here in the divorce? Nobody ever said that I was getting divorced, though. The only person I'm aware of who will be going through that is you. What? You really seem to have done a great job lying to my older son, right? What are you talking about right now? There was a man you had been going out with before you married Axel, correct? That's a little... Well, Axel already had someone go and take a look at all that, and he has some great evidence now. Huh? You had planned on using my son as an ATM after marrying him, so that you could go out with that other man on more high-end dates. But when you started to try and get to who you thought was a weak man's money, he turned out to have a tight grip on his wallet. The only money you were able to manage from him was just enough to buy food for you guys while he was working, and that was it. So, you confronted him, and that's when he told you that he was a contractor, where you turned on him and started to complain about why he was giving you such a small amount of money, and that was all due with him being poor. But Helen, this is all stuff that Axel had brought up to his father and I the other night, so some of it might have been a little off. Could you please let me know if I missed something there? But Helen! But what? I never knew that there could be contractors making more money than proper employees make. And you only have your lack of knowledge and awareness to blame for that. Now that you understand that we all know the truth, I'll tell you why Axel was originally coming home. He wanted to be here, to start working on all the divorce papers with us. Divorce? He was going to go have some talks with partners of his about starting up his own company soon, but he didn't want to finish with those talks until after the divorce. So he chose to hold off on those plans and come here to finish everything up with you. There's nothing that can be done about it now. The divorce is set in stone. He can't do that to me. I'll break up with my boyfriend, all right? Breaking up with him now wouldn't help you any, and would probably only make things worse. But I've only just found out that Axel has been making good money this whole time. I can't allow him to get away from me now. No way! You're not even going to hide your true intentions now, are you? Well, at least I won't be the only one getting divorced then. You're going to lose your husband soon as well, right? That's why I don't care about telling you how I really feel about why I'm married to Axel. Dad, my husband and I aren't getting a divorce. Huh? But just a second ago your husband was talking about a divorce. And that's just another one of your delusions that you've been having. Because I was right next to him, looking at his phone while he texted you, and he typed out that Axel would be divorcing you. What? Now don't worry, because I'm showing everything you've told me to Axel right now. Wait! Hurry up and sign the papers, and then get the hell off our property and never come back. I don't want to leave! Now, make sure to talk with Axel about what else he has in store for you. I don't want you to, jerk! I don't care what you want, you big baby. What? I'm going now. Bye forever, London. Right after I stopped talking with London, Axel told me that he paid some of his friends to stop by his house and take all of his things out and start moving them to our place. This meant that he would start to live with us right away, and would only be going back to that house later when he needed to sell it. My husband and I later sat down for some drinks while my son was out of the house, and thought about what made our son fall in love with that girl while laughing. A few days later, we heard from Axel that he had gotten in touch with a lawyer, and would be getting a settlement from both London and her boyfriend. He was also able to get all the money she took from him and used on dates back, and then the divorce was finished, and he had no longer had to deal with her. After the divorce was complete, days went by where we were all able to get back to our normal lives and not have to worry about what happened to London after. However, 1 year after the divorce, we found out that both London and her boyfriend got arrested. When I went online to look up what happened with those two, it had to do with them having a fraud marriage or something. And well, they lied about getting married by forging some documents, and when the bank later found this out, they sent the police after them. I guess her boyfriend and her were in some real need of money, and went to those lengths to try and get some loans. At least the three of us in my family all were able to cut ties to her before something like that happened, and we all gave a big sigh of relief at the same time thinking about that. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of this story. See you at the next story. Goodbye.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Fred, thank you so much for today.
Oh, have you made it home?
Yeah, I just got here a little while ago.
I got home not long ago myself. Actually, I need to apologize because I made the restaurant reservation, but not for Christmas Day. I feel so bad about it. I really didn't think I'd get assigned a business trip for both the 24th and 25th. This was supposed to be our first Christmas together, and now it feels kinda empty. Damn it, this stupid company just had to mess things up.
I know, it's definitely disappointing, but if it's work, there's not much we can do. I actually had a fun time just spending the day with my books, so I'm perfectly okay with it.
Hearing that really makes me feel a lot better. It helps me to know you're not upset about it.
I really hope next year we can be together on Christmas Day itself. I don't want this to happen again.
Yeah, I really hope so too. It would be so much better if we could spend the holiday together. Let's make sure of it for next time. All right, since I have to wake up early tomorrow, I should probably get some rest soon.
Yeah, you should probably get some sleep. I'll let you go then.
Thanks again for everything today. It was a great time despite the situation.
Of course. I hope you get some good rest. You need to be well rested for tomorrow. I'll be here if you need anything. Good night, Fred.
Good night. Sleep well.
Jamie, Merry Christmas! Oh, hey, it's still 12 hours away, you know. I know. I couldn't wait to message you, especially since it's been almost half a month since we last talked. Sorry for the sudden message, though. No, it's totally fine. It's just a little unexpected, that's all. So how have you been? Have you been busy lately? Well, yeah, I've actually been really busy with work. My company started offering me some work I can do from home, which is great because I get to be at home with the kids. It's been keeping me pretty occupied, to be honest. Oh, that's great. Balancing work and raising a child must be really tough, but I'm sure you're doing just fine. You've always been good at handling everything, and you seem pretty excited, huh, Sam? I can tell you're in a good mood. Well, of course, it's our first Christmas since getting married, so I'm pretty pumped. I'm actually in the middle of making some Christmas cookies right now. I just got done with baking the sponge cake, too, so if things are moving along, I'm really enjoying it. Speaking of which, isn't January 1st your first wedding anniversary? That's coming up so soon, huh? Exactly. That's another reason I'm so excited. We had to postpone our wedding because I got pregnant and my belly got too big, but I feel really lucky that we were able to line up our marriage registration with the start of the new year. It feels special, you know? How's Grace doing? She's growing up so fast. It feels like she's getting bigger by the day. Speaking of which, didn't you mention that you started dating someone you met at that mixer last month? What are you doing for Christmas? That's actually a bit of a downer. He got called away for a business trip, so we won't be spending Christmas together after all. Oh no! Oh, that's really disappointing. I'm sorry to hear that. I know you were looking forward to it. Yeah, it's really a bummer. But on the bright side, we actually went out for a nice dinner together last night. We went to this restaurant with a beautiful view of the city lights and had a nice French meal. That sounds nice, at least. I'm glad you got to spend some time together. But if you're free later, you and your boyfriend should come over to our place. I'd love to introduce you to my husband. Oh, right. I don't actually know what your husband looks like. Oh, right. I've never actually shown you a picture of him. He's not the best at pictures, though. When he knows he's been photographed, he gets all stiff and tries too hard to look good. He's a little awkward about it, but that's just him. That sounds so like him. But actually, I just took a really cute photo of the two of us in front of the Christmas tree, so I'll send it to you now. Wait, really? You're just sending it like that? Well, I just want to brag a little. Okay, go ahead. I want to see him. Here's my husband. Wait, this guy? Yeah, his name's Fred. I see. So this is him. What? Is there something wrong with Fred? Why do you sound so surprised? Oh, no, it's not that. I'm sorry, I just wasn't expecting that. It's just that, well, there's something I need to tell you in person. Could we meet right now? I really don't want to talk about it over message. Huh? Oh, well, sure, but why? What's going on? I can't really explain it through messages. It's not something that's easy to explain in a text. It's a little more complicated, but it's really important. I really need to talk to you about it face to face. You sound serious. What's going on? Should I be worried? It's just something I need to clear up with you. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I really need to see you. Okay, if you say so. How about we meet at the family restaurant in the shopping center around 2 p.m., the one we used to go to after my part-time job? I know it's been a while since we met up, but it's a good place for a chat. That works for me. I'll see you there.
Jamie, good morning. Actually, I finished work earlier than expected. I believe you didn't have any plans today, right? I thought maybe we could have lunch together. If it's convenient for you, we could even spend the evening together. What do you think?
Good morning, Fred. Oh, so you finished your business trip early.
Yep, that's right. I just dropped off the documents for the business trip at the office. They told me I could leave for the day. I think we can meet around noon. Let's spend Christmas together.
But do you think there's anywhere left where we can get a reservation at this late hour?
I'll try to find somewhere, don't worry. If it's okay with you, how about we just grab some quick food and cookies, then head to a hotel? What do you think?
Wait. If that's the case, I'd prefer to go to your place.
My place?
Yes, I've never been there, after all. Since it's Christmas, I'll cook for us.
Well, my place is a bit of a mess.
Why?
The place is kind of untidy. If you're gonna come over, I'd have to clean up first, wouldn't I?
Oh, come on, I can clean up.
No.
What's wrong? Is there a reason you can't invite me over?
Well, like I said, my place is messy.
I'll clean it up.
No, that's not it.
What is it then? Do you have a reason for not wanting me to come over?
It's just that it's a place you don't go to uninvited.
So is there really a reason you can't invite me?
No, it's not like that.
Is it because of your wife, Sam, and your daughter, Grace?
Huh?
Well, Sam and Grace are out of the house, but there's still evidence of them being there, so it might be awkward for me to come over, you know?
Jamie, what are you talking about? Wait, what? Who are Sam and Grace?
Huh?
Maybe someone told you something strange, but I've only got eyes for you.
You're still lying?
Then what's going on?
Look, Fred, Sam is my friend.
What?
Sam and I used to work at the same store part-time. We'd often have overlapping shifts, so we'd become friends, and we're still close today.
What?
When I was messaging with Sam yesterday, she showed me a picture of you saying, "This is my husband." That's when I realized we were all connected. I had always thought your last name was the same as theirs, and it turns out that wasn't just a coincidence.
Oh, I see now. Sam, she used to be my girlfriend. She even tried to get back together with me not long ago, and I was stuck dealing with it. I didn't want you to get involved with this, but I guess it's too late now.
That's such a lie.
You don't believe me?
Look, Sam and we actually met in person yesterday to talk about everything.
What?
So Sam and Grace aren't at their place right now because they left you and went back to her parents' home.
What?
And now I'm here at her place to explain the situation to her parents. Also, Sam wants to talk to you, so I'm switching with her. Fred, it's Sam.
What?
Yes. You can believe it or not, but I'm going to move things along. You must have noticed that Grace and I weren't there when you woke up this morning, right? I thought you'd at least check in on us, but you didn't. Instead, you suddenly call me up for a Christmas date? What kind of nerve do you have?
Well, I thought...
Anyway, I'm getting a divorce.
What? No, wait a minute.
Do you really think you can stop this?
Because isn't a father necessary for raising Grace?
You've been pretending to be single, hitting on women at parties while having a wife and kid at home, and now you're acting like a father? I don't think so.
That's a different issue. This is about us.
No, it's not. When you cheat on your wife, making a family and a woman a fool, that's all one big problem. And to think you even went after my friend.
It's just a coincidence, though.
Doesn't matter if it's a coincidence or not. You still deceived Jamie.
Wait, hold on. What is this? You two are conspiring against me?
What?
So you and Grace are like rivals for my love, right? Even if you're friends, shouldn't you be enemies in this situation?
If Jamie knew I was married and still decided to date me, you'd be stuck in a mess right now. But you pretended to be single, right?
Well,
Jamie, she's been hurt too. As soon as she found out the truth, she came to me, apologized, and even gave me evidence. At that point, I have no reason to oppose Jamie.
What? No, but...
No matter how you explain it, you betrayed your wife and played with another woman's feelings. That's the fact.
But...
What? You still have an excuse to make?
I'm the one who's your husband and Grace's father.
And so what? Well, at this rate, talking over messages isn't going to solve anything. Let's get this divorce moving.
Wait!
You don't need to worry about Grace. I just returned to work, so I'm financially stable and I have plenty of support from my parents. Even if we divorce, I'm not worried at all.
Wait!
I'd like to wrap this up by the end of the year, so please cooperate.
What? Today's Christmas! Why would you want to make such a bad memory on a day like this? Come on, just let it go. And now can you let me talk to Jamie?
Jamie? Of course, she's going to be leaving you as well.
What?
Well then, I'll be getting in touch with you again soon, through a lawyer, of course.
Wait a minute! Wait!
Just shut up already. You've already dragged so many people into this mess. You've hurt Jamie, you've hurt Grace, and now you're trying to make it all about you again. You need to stop, Fred. Seriously.
What are you talking about? What do you think I'm doing? I'm trying to fix everything. I'm trying to make this right. It's not like I didn't make mistakes. I'll admit that. But don't you see? I'm trying to make up for it all.
Make up for it? How can you possibly make up for all the lies, Fred? You've been living a double life. All the while you've been telling me one thing and living a completely different reality. I trusted you. I believed in you. And now you want me to just forget all of it? Just pretend like nothing happened?
Sam,
Goodbye, Fred. I am done with your sorry ass.
Sam!
After that, I ended things with Fred without ever facing him again. Fortunately, I hadn't shared the location of my home with him. My focus had been entirely on job hunting, and so I didn't have to worry about any kind of stalking or unwanted attention from him. I had made sure to keep my personal information private, particularly the place where I was living. This was something I had learned the hard way over the years, keeping certain boundaries in place to ensure my safety and peace of mind. With everything that had happened, it was important to have that distance, not just physically, but emotionally as well. I had spent a lot of time thinking about the relationship, trying to make sense of everything, but once I made the decision, I knew it was for the best. There was no need to keep engaging with someone who had caused me so much distress. I'd already endured enough, and I wasn't about to continue to put myself through any more unnecessary heartache. I had to draw a line, and that's exactly what I did. The peace I felt after making that decision was something I hadn't experienced in a long time, and it was something I realized I truly needed. Sam, too, finalized her divorce by the end of the year. Like me, Sam had been through her own emotional turmoil. She had struggled for a long time, unsure of what the future held, and was still trying to come to terms with everything. Her marriage had been full of its own challenges, and even though she had known for some time that the relationship was over, actually making the decision to go through with the divorce was not something that came easily. But by the time we had reached the end of the year, she had managed to find the strength to move on. We had supported each other through this, sharing stories, giving advice, and just being there for one another when we needed it the most. While I never asked Sam for specifics about the alimony or child support details, it seems that the amount was considerable. Sam had been very careful in making sure she wasn't taken advantage of during the divorce. She had fought for what she was owed, and from what I gathered, she made sure to get it all paid in one lump sum without leaving room for any further complications. She didn't want to have to deal with ongoing legal battles or the stress of chasing down payments. She was done with all of it, and I respected her decision to handle things in a way that gave her the closure she needed. Sam had been through a lot, and I could see how much relief she felt once everything was finalized. It was like a weight had been lifted from her shoulders. For the first time in a long while, she felt like she could have finally started living again. Without the shadow of her past hanging over her, it was a liberating feeling, one that I was starting to understand myself. As for Fred, it seems that somehow the details of what had happened between us were leaked to his workplace. It was strange how quickly information like that could spread, especially when it was something so personal. Given his line of work, where maintaining the company's reputation was critical, it seemed that the matter was now a potential issue of trust. Word had somehow gotten out about the circumstances of his personal life, and it appeared that it was starting to affect his professional reputation. As a result, it seemed that he was subtly encouraged to resign. I'm not sure if he had been outright told to leave, but it was clear that the company didn't want to risk its reputation by keeping someone who had become a liability. In some ways, I felt that Fred had brought this upon himself. He had been dishonest and reckless, and now he was facing the consequences of his actions. It was hard for me to feel any sympathy for him after everything that had happened. The lies, the betrayal, the way he had treated me, it had all left deep scars. Part of me was glad to see him facing some form of retribution, even if it wasn't as severe as what he truly deserved. But at the same time, another part of me couldn't help but wonder if things could have been different. Could he have been a better person? Could he have changed? The questions lingered in my mind, but I quickly pushed them away. I realized that dwelling on them wouldn't change anything. What mattered now was how I chose to move forward, not how Fred was dealing with the fallout of his own choices. So, all things considered, this turned out to be a miserable Christmas for both Sam and me. Not only had we both been through such personal upheaval, but the timing also made it feel like an extra burden. The holiday season, which is supposed to be about joy and togetherness, only seemed to highlight how much we had lost and how uncertain everything felt. Christmas, for me at least, was a time of reflection, of looking back on the year and wondering where things had gone wrong, where we had failed and what we could have done differently. But in the end, it didn't matter. Christmas was, at best, a reminder of the pain we were each going through, and at worst, it felt like an extension of the emotional chaos we were already dealing with. Despite all the negative feelings surrounding the holiday, there was still a small flicker of hope within me. I knew that this difficult time wouldn't last forever. Sam and I both know that we would eventually find our way out of the darkness. It was just a matter of time. However, the start of the new year offered a slight glimmer of hope. I made a promise to Sam that we would attend a New Year's Eve party together as a way of cleansing ourselves from the previous year's troubles. It was a small gesture, but one that felt important. An opportunity to leave behind the dark days and try to start fresh. We both needed something to look forward to, and even though the future was still uncertain, the idea of moving forward together, even if just for a night, felt like the first step in a long journey of healing. We'd been through so much individually, and our situations, though different, had left us with a shared understanding of what it means to rebuild. For Sam, the divorce had been a long time coming, but the process of untangling herself from that life had been no less painful. There had been years of emotional baggage, of trying to make things work when they were clearly falling apart. And in the end, she had to let go, but doing so was incredibly difficult. But of course, we're not going to let the memories of Fred get in our way, and come New Year's Eve, Sam and I have plans to spend the whole day together with one another celebrating our fresh starts.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Emma! Today's the day. I'm not waiting anymore. I've finally found my true love. Now please agree to the divorce so we can get this over with.
What? This again? Ken, you're in Japan on business. Don't you have better things to do with your time? Like, I don't know, go eat some sushi or something. You're not going to win this one.
Emma, I am dead serious about this. I want a divorce.
Ugh, great. Here we go again. Tell me, Ken, why do you want a divorce?
I've told you 1,000,000 times already. I've found my true love.
Uh-huh. And what's your mistress's name?
She's not my mistress. Don't call her that. She's my true love. Now divorce me.
Hey, Emma, do you have a minute?
Hallie? This is a surprise.
I looked up the time difference. It's still daytime for you over there, right?
Right. Yeah, I won't be heading to bed for a few hours. What's up?
Can you do a video call right now? If possible, I'd prefer to talk by video rather than text.
Well, sure, that's no problem, but why?
There's someone that I'd like you to talk to face to face.
Who is it?
2 people, actually. The younger sister of a coworker and her father.
Huh? I don't think I've ever talked to any of your coworkers before, much less their family members.
Yeah, this will be the first time you've met, but it's important, please.
Okay, if you say so.
Divorce me!
Really, Ken? You know full well that it's the middle of the night over here.
Huh?
Don't huh me. You've lived here your whole life up until a few months ago. If you want to whine to me, at least wait until morning.
What do you want me to do, though? I'm desperate. I need you to divorce me. I can't do anything until you consent.
I told you, you're wasting your time. I'm not divorcing you.
Why not?
Because I don't wanna.
But you have to divorce me.
No, I don't. And besides, you're just using the fact that I'm in America and you're way over in Japan to try and hide your mistress's identity from me.
And I'm not agreeing to the divorce until you give me her information. Now, good night. I'm going back to bed.
Come on, Emma. I'm being totally open about this. You don't need to know her name or anything. All you need to know is that she's the love of my life. How can you be so cruel? You're totally breaking my heart, Emma. Emma, pick up your phone. Divorce me!
Good morning, Hallie. Or wait, good, evening? You got it right the second time. Are you all ready to go? Yep, I was texting you to tell you that I'm just about to head out. Great to hear. So, how's the situation with you-know-who? He's getting even more obnoxious than before. Now he started sending me messages whining about wanting a divorce at all hours of the day, even when he knows I'm asleep. Just last night, I was laying down in bed when all of a sudden my phone blew up with notifications, and sure enough, it was him crying, "Divorce me! Divorce me!" Ugh, what a loser. Good grief, he is such a creep. I understand he's getting desperate, but come on, that's basically psychological torture. Not to mention, does he have any idea what position he's in? He has none of the power. He should be on his knees, begging, willing to jump through any hoops to get you to give him what he wants. Right? I really wish that there was someone I knew who could smack some sense into him for me. Ordinarily, I'd call his parents to do that, but they had a nuclear meltdown of a divorce and aren't on speaking terms. So that's not happening. He never had a close relationship with any of his other relatives, so that's not an option. And all of his old friends are back here in America. I'm completely at a loss for how to deal with him. Jeez. My frustration with him kept me up all night. I was exhausted from getting ready, but I still couldn't sleep. All the coffee in the world can't help me now. I'm so sorry, Emma. But the one saving grace is that it's clear that Ken is in serious trouble, and he knows it. You got that right. The wedding party is only 2 days from now. Okay, I'm just about to get on my plane. Gotcha. I'll be waiting to pick you up at the airport.
What the hell? Emma, what are you doing here?
Hey there, Ken. I gotta hand it to you. You look really nice in that tuxedo. What was it you told your girlfriend, Ken? Sorry, babe, I want to give you a formal wedding, but it's gonna have to wait until I get back to America and can work out all the details with my family. Something like that. And that's why instead of a real wedding, you're just having a wedding party with her family. It's a pretty good plan, Ken. Sorry things didn't work out as you'd hoped, though.
How did you get over here? Why aren't you in America?
You know, I've got to tell you about this fantastic new invention called the airplane, Ken. They're amazing. They can fly way up high in the sky.
Stop mocking me. You know that's not what I'm talking about. Why are you here? Why are you at my wedding party? I never told you about this party. I never told you about Aiko at all.
Speaking of Aiko, have you noticed something strange about this wedding party? Like the fact that the bride-to-be isn't there?
What?
You don't suppose this means she found out you were married and wants to break up with you now, do you?
No. You told Aiko we were married?
No, actually, she found out about that well before she contacted me to see if it was really true.
Then who told her?
A friend of mine works for a company that's a subsidiary of a Japanese company run by Aiko's father. And she was sent to work on an assignment in corporate headquarters 2 weeks ago. She just so happens to be working with Aiko's older brother, and they came to be pretty good friends. Such good friends that he invited her to come to your little party today.
Uh-oh. Your friend is over here too?
She was at our wedding too, so she's met you before and knows what you look like. And since we talk pretty often, she also knows that you were on assignment in Japan right now.
This cannot be happening.
One day, Aiko's brother showed my friend a picture of the happy couple, and she knew right away when she saw it that it was you. She was honest with him and said she was pretty certain that the man in the picture was the husband of a friend of hers back in America, and that he might want to look into you. Of course, the most certain way to determine whether it was true or not was to contact me, which they did. I've been talking with Aiko, her brother, and your company as well. The decision was made that the best way to deal with it would be to have me come and confront you personally. And so, here I am. A stranger in the land of the rising sun, standing before my adulterous husband.
This is the worst. Come on, your friend just so happened to be working for the subsidiary company of the Japanese company Aiko's father is the CEO of? And all of this became known just in time for you to come to the party? How? How does something like this happen?
Well, I'd say it all started when you decided to cheat on me.
Her family is crazy rich. I was gonna be set for life. And now it's all over. Aiko dumped me. This may not be something you'd understand, but Aiko's dad is like some kind of a feudal lord over here. He has connections in every part of society. He's more powerful than the government. And thanks to that, my company found out about what happened. How could you do this to me?
Ken, really now? Are you still going to act like this is my fault?
But it is your fault.
It is? It's my fault that you started dating Aiko without telling her that you were a married man? Did I force you to do that? Yes, you thought that if you pestered me enough for a divorce that I'd give in eventually, so you could be single just in time for your little wedding party. Is that right? Honestly, how did you ever think such a harebrained scheme like that was going to work? Well, as painfully stupid as your plan may have been, you still were aware that what you were doing was not only wrong, but maliciously so. No, I don't see any reason to say that any of this is anyone's fault but your own.
Could you stop twisting the knife like that? I'm in enough pain already. When my company found out everything, they terminated my assignment in Japan months ahead of schedule. I'm gonna have to go back to America next week. So I'm coming home, and man, am I gonna have a thing or two to say to you when I get there. Emma, what's going on? Where are you?
Huh?
The house is half empty. You took all your stuff and left?
Oh, so you're home already?
Yeah. How else would I know that you're not at the house? I told you last week that I was coming home.
Phew. Wow, did I dodge a bullet or what? Once I made the decision that I was going to divorce you, I also decided to clear out of the house as quickly as possible. If I had taken a single day off, I wouldn't have made it out in time. So yeah, I moved out and I'm not coming back.
Where did you go?
Did you really think I would tell you if you asked?
Why won't you tell me?
Duh, because I'm divorcing you, you idiot. Now that I know you're back, I'll be sending my lawyer to your house to have a little chat with you about a few things.
Your lawyer?
Do I have to explain every last thing for you? I'm suing you. And I'd rather not have to hash out all the messy details in person, since that would just get awkward. So I'm sending someone who's a professional in dealing with cheating scumbags like you.
Emma, wait! The thing is, I'm broke.
Uh-huh. Aiko sued you for marriage fraud, didn't she? She got engaged to you under the false pretense that you were single.
Yeah.
I felt so bad about what you did to that poor girl that I decided to let her have her way with you before I had my turn. But don't worry, just because you're already penniless and ruined doesn't mean I'll hold back from giving you a second helping of your just desserts.
What?
Don't you know the old adage about a woman scorned?
Damn it! Now I have no choice but to sell my house. It's my house. I earned that house. I worked so hard to pay for it.
And you went ahead and burned it all to the ground because you had to chase after a younger piece of meat. Sad.
And worse, since my company assigned me to that position in Japan, I only actually lived in it for a couple years.
Not my problem. Tell it to someone who cares.
Shut up. You're gonna hear me out, like it or not. This is all your fault. You're the one who divorced me. You're the one who sued me. You did this to me. It's your fault that from now on, instead of living in the comfortable new house that I always dreamed about, I'll be lucky if I can find a half-decent apartment to live in.
Seriously, why are you blaming me for this? You did it to yourself.
If only I didn't lose my dear, sweet, precious Aiko. If only I still had her. Then there'd at least be a silver lining to this disaster.
If you still had her, that would have meant that your sick and twisted scheme to lie your way into her heart would have worked. So it's for the best that she's out of the picture.
Sick and twisted? How dare you? We were in love with each other. Real, true love.
You were a married man cheating on your wife in another country with a younger woman because you wanted to marry into her wealthy family. I don't think there was a single part of that could be called real, true, or love.
You have no right to be talking to me like that. Stop mocking my pain.
Sorry, I just can't help myself. There's just so much about you that is absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I think I've squeezed every last drop of humor at your expense that I can by this point, so I'm done talking to you. Don't ever contact me again. Goodbye.
I will never forgive you, Emma.
To tell the truth, I do kinda understand how bad he feels about losing that house. He was so proud of it when we built it, and when he got stationed in Japan, I swear he was sadder to be away from that house than he was to be away from me. Right after that, his company gave him another transferal order. This time, though, it wasn't to a nice, safe, developed country like Japan. Quite the opposite, actually. So it really didn't matter that he had lost the house, because he wasn't going to be able to live there anymore anyway. From what I hear, the place where they sent him is basically like the company's penal colony, where they send all the employees who screw the pooch too badly elsewhere. It's kind of a roundabout way of the company telling you, resign or else. It also came with a massive pay cut. But perhaps because he lost everything of value to him in America, he willingly accepted the assignment and quietly took off for an isolated and undeveloped country on the opposite side of the globe. Understandably, his troubles didn't end there, though. The country was so isolated that nobody, not even the people who he was working with, understood English. Ken also didn't speak the local language, and without anyone to teach him, he was left to sit by himself, wondering what the locals were saying about him when they laughed and stared.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Payday is coming soon, right? About this month's remittance. Huh? This month I'm going to raise the amount again. Wait a minute, Mom? Is this some kind of joke? If you raise the amount any higher, I won't be able to afford my own living expenses. What are you saying? It's only natural for children to send money to their parents. Yes, I understand that, and I'm still sending money, but can we talk about the amount? It's becoming unreasonable. By the way, is Dan still sending his remittance? Is it still the same amount, $1,500 every month? Of course, Dan is so successful, talented, and such a dutiful son. There's no way I'd burden him with more. Yeah, I shouldn't have asked. But listen, I can't increase it anymore. What? Like I said earlier, I really can't do it anymore. Even right now, I'm barely managing to make ends meet. If you push me further, I really won't be able to survive. Then just cut back on your expenses even more. It's as simple as that. If I cut back any more, I'll be living a life that's not even human. I'm barely living as it is, and you're asking me to scrape by even more? Then just work harder and earn more money. Do you even hear what you're saying? You're asking me to sacrifice everything just to increase the remittance, and for what reason? It's ridiculous. Don't you have any sense of duty towards your family? You left this house out of your selfishness, so it's only right that we decide the amount you send back. I left because I had no place in the house, not because I was being selfish. And let me remind you, I'm already sending you $3,500 every month. That's a huge amount. If you include Dan's contribution, it's a small fortune. Besides, isn't Dad receiving his pension starting this year, and didn't he get rehired after retirement? Well, yes, he's still working. So you're getting his pension and he's still earning a salary, right? And on top of that, you're asking me to increase the remittance? It's just you and Dad at home now. What kind of extravagant life are you living that justifies asking for more? I'd really love to hear an explanation of where all this $3,500 is going. Stop being so selfish. How am I being selfish? I'm not increasing the amount, period. It's already too much, and if you keep pushing, I might just lower it. What? How dare you talk back to your own mother like this? Can't you listen to your parents? Look, even if you are my parents, there are limits to what I can agree to. Don't you understand that? I can't just do everything you ask for without question. All right, I have said my piece. Bye.
Wait, Ruth, come back here.
Ruth, is it true that you haven't sent this month's remittance yet?
Yeah, I haven't sent it.
Why not?
Because Mom made an unreasonable demand and I'm holding off until we resolve it. Once things are settled, I'll send the money.
But you promised that you'd send money every month when you moved out of the house. That was the condition, wasn't it? This is starting to look a bit selfish, don't you think?
Wait, are you going to ask me to increase the remittance like Mom did?
Well, yes, I think it's time you raised the amount. Honestly, I believe it would be a good opportunity for you to learn how to manage your finances more wisely.
What are you even talking about? Look, Dan can afford to send $1,500 a month because he runs his own company and earns over $100,000 a year. But my situation is totally different from his. I told Mom the same thing. If you expect me to send more, I won't be able to cover my own living costs. I'm seriously begging you, cut me some slack.
Ruth, what exactly do you do for a living?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I thought you were in a specialized profession with the potential for high earnings. But if you're telling me you can't survive after sending the little amount of money you do, I have to wonder, are you really working properly or are you just wasting your money carelessly?
What?
Given the current situation, it's hard not to think that. Look at Dan. He sends $1,500 every month without complaint. You, on the other hand, send a mere $100. Do you even respect your parents?
$100? Wait, what are you talking about?
Yes, $100. That's all you send, while Dan is sending 10 times that amount. What does that say about you?
Wait. What do you mean $100? I've been sending $3,500 every month.
$3,500? Are you serious?
Yes, 5 years ago when I first moved out, I was sending $1,000 a month. But then it kept increasing because of things like Mom saying she needed money for medical appointments or that she had to take out a loan to replace the car or that the electricity bills were too high. So little by little, the amount went up until about 6 months ago when it reached $3,500. All that time, I kept sending the money because I felt it was my duty after moving out, and I lived as frugally as possible to make it work. But recently, my coworkers started to notice how I was living, and one of them even scolded me, saying I need to think about my own financial limits. That was when I realized how absurd it had all become.
Ruth, I'm telling you, the fact remains that we've only received $100 from you.
I swear, I have been sending $3,500.
Are you still saying that?
Of course I am. It's the truth, and I've been doing it for months now.
Don't lie to me. If what you're saying is true, then stop the payments.
Wait, stop them? What do you mean?
I'm saying if you're really sending that much, then stop. Let's see what happens.
Wait, are you seriously telling me I can stop sending money? You don't want me to reduce the amount, but just stop entirely? $0?
Yes, you think we can't survive without your remittance? We're not living in such poverty that we'd struggle if your money stopped coming in.
Oh, so that's how it is.
However, if you do stop sending money, don't even think about stepping foot back into this house. You'll no longer have a place in this family.
That's fine by me.
What?
I moved out 5 years ago with no intention of coming back. I started my own life, and if you're telling me I can stop the remittance, that's the best news I've heard in a long time. It's a huge relief.
Wait, Ruth!
Oh, and make sure to let Mom know, too. I'm done. Bye.
Why is she so happy?
Ruth, hurry up and send the remittance. For now, I'm fine with the usual $3,500. Just make sure you transfer it today. Huh? I'm not sending any more remittances. What? You can't do that. I'm in the middle of dealing with so many bills. The payment deadlines are coming up fast. Like I said, I'm not sending any more money. Are you really going to break the promise you made when you left the house? If you don't start sending money again, I'll bring you back home. Excuse me? If you want to continue living on your own, then send the remittance right now. And from next month, I expect you to send $4,000. Wait, Mom, are you telling me not to come back home or that you're going to force me to come back? Which is it exactly? I'm saying that if you stop sending money, I'll make you come back home.
But Dad told me if you stop sending the remittance, we'll never let you set foot in this house again.
What? He really said that?
Yes, he told me that yesterday. So before you start giving me an ultimatum, how about you and Dad get on the same page? Look, even if I were to start sending money again, I'd prioritize my own life first. And if I do decide to send anything, the amount will be a lot less than what I've been giving you.
Hey, where are you?
Oh, Carter, I thought you were at work today.
I finished early because of some maintenance at the office building.
Oh, I see.
So where are you now?
I'm just out shopping a bit.
Come home without buying anything. I just checked the mailbox and we received a collection notice.
What? A collection notice?
Are you in debt?
Yes, but it's not what you think. I didn't mean for this to happen. I've been trying to manage my finances.
This is serious. How could you let it get to this point? You need to explain what's going on right now. Ruth, please, I need you to start sending the remittance again.
Huh? Dad? What's with the sudden request? I thought you said you wouldn't have any problems without my remittance.
Well, that's not quite the case. The other day I found multiple collection notices addressed to your mother.
Collection notices? What do you mean?
It seems she had been collecting the mail and hiding it before I could see it. They were right in the mailbox, but she made sure to keep them away from me.
So this means there's debt involved?
Yes, it's quite a significant amount, actually. We're talking about hundreds of thousands.
What? Are you serious? So my remittance of $3,500 has been going toward paying off that debt?
Apparently that's exactly what was happening. They've been borrowing money and paying it off only to borrow again. Your remittance was being used as a way to keep this cycle going. But now the amounts they've been borrowing have increased, and for various reasons, they've been asking for more money from you.
What about Dan? What's his remittance situation?
I double-checked with him earlier, and it turns out he was actually sending $2,000 instead of the $1,500 we thought.
Wow. So he's sending even more than we realized. That's still less than my $3,500, right?
Well, yes, but that's possibly due to how your mother feels about each of you. She's always had a soft spot for Dan.
Yeah, I know. Mom definitely dotes on him, but still, $2,000 is quite a lot. I guess that really shows how desperate they are for money right now.
From what I understand, of that $2,000, around $1,500 is purely for living expenses.
Right. So it sounds like they're really in a tough spot financially. But given everything, I think it's impossible for me to resume sending money at this point.
Wait, why do you say that? Don't you think we should find a way to help them?
First, we need to understand the reason behind their debts. I mean, what led them to this point? Why did Mom take out loans in the first place? And what has she been spending the money on?
That's a good point. We need to have a serious conversation with your mother about this. We can't just keep throwing money at the problem without knowing the full story. This cycle has to stop somewhere.
Exactly. I want to help them, but I can't just keep feeding into this without understanding what's going on. I also have my own finances to manage.
Right. And you should not be put in a position where you're sacrificing your stability for theirs. We need a plan.
Yes, we definitely need to get to the bottom of this. Once we talk to Mom, we can figure out what's truly needed and how to move forward from here.
Ruth, I want to apologize for the horrible things I said the other day.
Huh? Oh, you mean the conversation we had last time?
Yes, I know this sounds like an excuse, but I genuinely had no idea about your mother's debt. I had completely entrusted her with managing the household finances. I was led to believe that your remittance was only $100 and that Dan was sending $1,500. I took that at face value without questioning it. Then one day I happened to overhear your mother mumbling about the remittances, and without fully understanding the situation, I ended up complaining to you.
Okay, Dad, I appreciate your honesty. It's good to know you weren't fully aware of everything.
I truly am sorry for how I reacted.
Thank you for saying that. Now, do you have any idea what caused her debt? I've always thought she was a bit careless with money, but I never imagined it was serious enough to accumulate debt. What could have happened?
Well, it turns out she got really into hosting.
Hosting? You mean like she's been spending money on that?
Yes, apparently. From what I've gathered, she was doing more than just socializing. It seems she got heavily involved in that lifestyle.
Oh my God.
I truly believe this is going to lead to a divorce.
Yeah, I can see that. It's definitely a complicated situation. But Dad, how do you even handle something like that? A mother over 60 getting into debt from hosting? It's just so hard to process.
I know, it's rough, and honestly, it's painful to think about. I never thought we'd be in this situation. I've always believed we could get through anything as a family, but now it's like everything is unraveling. I feel a mix of anger and sorrow.
I get it. This is beyond just a financial issue. It's about trust and family. I can't believe she would put herself in this position at her age. It's just heartbreaking.
Exactly. It's not just about the money, it's about how it affects our family and her health. I worry about what this means for her future. How could she be so reckless?
It sounds like she was trying to fill some kind of void in her life, but she ended up making things worse. I mean, is this really the path she wanted to go down? It just seems so out of character for her.
I know, right? It makes me wonder what she's been feeling or if she's going through something we didn't see. Maybe she's been feeling lonely or unfulfilled. Whatever the reason, it's clear she needs help, and we need to address this together.
Yes, we definitely need to have a serious discussion with her. I'm not sure how she'll react, but we need to confront this issue head on. It can't go on like this.
Agreed. Let's try to figure out a way to support her, but also make sure she understands the gravity of the situation. We can't just let this spiral further out of control.
Ruth, you've been living in this apartment, haven't you? Huh? Mom, what are you talking about? This apartment, room 105. What about it? I just ran into a resident from here, and they told me that ever since you moved out 2 months ago, that room has been empty. First, I want to know how you even found out about that room. I never told anyone my new address since I left home. When I went back to the house, I found a New Year's card addressed to Grandma. It had your old address on it. Oh, that card. I actually moved right after I sent that out. I plan to send Grandma a moving notice once I get settled in. Why would you choose to move out at this time? I was able to move to a more secure place because I no longer need to send remittances. It seemed like the right decision. So you came all the way here for what? That must have taken at least 2.5 hours on the fastest bus from your house. I got divorced from your father. Right after that, I returned home. But when Grandma found out the reason for the divorce, she declared that she never wanted to see me again. I heard your father went to Dan's place, and as for that host boyfriend of mine, well, he dumped me. Wait, are you saying you have no choice but to come live with me? I mean, what else am I supposed to do? I don't have any other options. No way, you're joking, right? Why would you think that? I already know why you got divorced. What do you mean? Who told you? Well, it's not like it's a secret. It's about the debts, your obsession with those hosts, and finally, the infidelity, right? Just the thought of having a mother who lives like that makes my skin crawl. I can't possibly live with you. Ruth, please. Think about everything I've done for you while raising you. I thought we could live together again as a way to repay that. You lied to Dad about how much I send home every month. I know you've been secretly borrowing money and making those payments behind my back. I don't want to be dragged into any more of your messes, all right? Ruth, about your new address. I'm not telling you. Wait a minute. Goodbye. What on earth is she thinking? I truly cannot understand my mother's thought process. To be honest, I don't even want to understand it. After all, she failed to come to me for help, and now, because of that, she really has no place to go. For several days, she's been wandering around the nearby park, seemingly lost and without direction. While I was searching for her, I was approached by a group who had apparently been looking for her too. Before I knew it, they took me along with them, and I felt an odd sense of connection with these strangers, united by our concern for someone who had once been a central figure in my life. The days turned into an agonizing blur as I tried to piece together my mother's whereabouts. I could picture her in the park, sitting on a bench, staring off into the distance, seemingly lost in thought. I imagined her mind racing with all the burdens she carried. Is she reminiscing about better times or contemplating her next move? It's troubling to consider that her situation could spiral even further into despair. I remember the times when she was a vibrant part of my life, full of laughter and warmth. Those memories felt like a distant dream now. The thought of her aimlessly wandering without purpose gnawed at my insides. I had always assumed she would reach out if she needed help, but her silence spoke volumes about her state of mind. Was it pride, shame, or something else that kept her from turning to me? Days later, I encountered a group of people who seemed genuinely concerned about her. They approached me, asking questions about her whereabouts. Their faces were a mix of worry and sympathy, and I felt a strange kinship with them, despite not knowing them. It struck me how many lives my mother had touched, and yet she was now isolated and alone. They led me to a cafe nearby where we sat down to discuss what we knew. I learned that this group had been trying to find her for a while. They recounted stories of their encounters with her, how she would often sit alone, engaging in conversations with strangers, offering her insights on life, and sometimes sharing bits of her own struggles. I listened intently, taking in every detail, feeling both comforted and alarmed by the kindness of these people. As they spoke, I felt my own frustration bubbling to the surface. I should have been the one helping her, not these strangers. It was disheartening to realize how disconnected I had become from her reality. Perhaps I had been so consumed by my own life that I overlooked the signs of her distress. It dawned on me that I should have done more to reach out and check on her. How could I have let her fall through the cracks like this? One of the individuals in the group shared how they had seen my mother around the park, often appearing lost or withdrawn. Their words painted a picture of a woman who was not just my mother, but a person struggling to maintain her sense of self amidst a storm of challenges. Each story reinforced my commitment to find her and help her find her way back to stability. After several exhausting days of searching, I received an unexpected call from a friend of my mother's. He mentioned that there had been some unusual activity in his bank account. A deposit made by my mother. I felt a mixture of relief and dread wash over me. On one hand, it seemed she was still alive and functioning in some capacity, but on the other hand, it meant she was still entangled in a web of debt. The knowledge that she was engaging in financial transactions, even if they were questionable, added another layer to my concern. I shared this news with my father and brother, a reunion of sorts after years of silence. It was awkward at first, with so much unspoken tension hanging in the air. However, as we began discussing our mother, an unexpected warmth began to surface around us. We reminisced about the good times, family gatherings, birthdays, and the laughter we shared. Those memories felt bittersweet, contrasting sharply with the current reality we faced. My father, with his furrowed brow, spoke up first. I always thought she would find her way back. She's a strong woman, but lately, it feels like she's lost her way. My brother chimed in, his voice laced with concern. We need to figure out what's going on with her. This can't go on. She can't keep living like this. I nodded in agreement, feeling a surge of determination. We all knew we had to do something, but what? As we talked, an unspoken understanding began to form between us. We recognized that it was time to mend the frayed bonds of our family. The weight of our collective worry about our mother pulled us closer together. We realized that we needed to support each other through this challenging period, despite the long-standing distance and silence. My brother looked at both my father and me and said, "We should make it a point to check in on each other. Even just a simple text now and then would mean a lot." My father nodded in agreement, his expression softening. "You're right. Life is too short to be distant. We need to look out for each other, especially now." With that renewed commitment, we made a pact to stay in touch. It felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. We were no longer alone in this struggle. The tension that had once filled the room gradually dissipated, replaced by a shared sense of purpose. Dan, who had been quietly listening to our conversation, chimed in with a brilliant idea. "Why don't we create a family group chat? It'll be a fun way to share updates and keep each other in the loop." His suggestion sparked a sense of excitement among us. It felt like a fresh start, a small yet significant step towards reestablishing our family ties. We quickly set up the group chat, each of us sharing our contact information and a few lighthearted messages to break the ice. As the messages flowed in, I felt a renewed sense of hope. perhaps this was exactly what we needed, a way to connect without the heaviness of our current situation overshadowing everything. We could share photos, jokes, and everyday moments, creating new memories even amidst the chaos. I left the meeting with my father and brother feeling lighter. Despite the gravity of our mother's circumstances, I had hope that we could find a way to support her together. I realized that family didn't have to be perfect, it just had to be there for one another in times of need. In the following weeks, we kept the group chat active, sharing snippets of our lives and encouraging one another to stay connected. I felt a sense of belonging that I hadn't experienced in a long time. Even though my mother remained elusive, I took comfort in the knowledge that I was not alone in the struggle. Then one day I received a message from my brother. He had managed to track down one of our mother's acquaintances. I spoke with someone who said they saw her last week, he wrote. They said she seemed okay, just a bit withdrawn. It's not much, but it's something. I felt a surge of hope. It was reassuring to know that she was alive and, at least outwardly, appeared to be fine. But my heart still ached for her. I couldn't shake the feeling that she was in over her head, struggling with demons we couldn't see. As the weeks turned into months, our family dynamics began to shift. We made an effort to reconnect, sharing not just our concerns about our mother, but also celebrating the milestones in our lives. Birthdays and anniversaries became occasions for us to come together, even if virtually. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.